Okay. I was thinking, what if we started reading books like together? Like we take turns reading it out loud to each other. Like we could do it at night, but I figure since we have the day off today, that we could just kind of start like now. And listen, I know, babe, you're probably not gonna be too into this idea of book that I have. But what about like, you know, I love Alice in Wonderland. I was thinking I could start reading that to you today. Um, like I have it like right over here. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland is the actual title. This is like the original version by Lewis Carroll. And it's not too terribly long, but obviously we won't read all of it today. But it's got beautiful illustrations, as you can see. Yeah. Looks like there's a poem at the beginning, but let's skip that for now. Okay, so you're cool with this? Yeah, I don't really care if you're cool with it or not, because this is happening. Okay, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Chapter 1, Down the Rabbit Hole. Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank, and of having nothing to do. Once or twice she had peeped into the book her sister was reading, but it had no pictures or conversations in it. And what is the use of a book, thought Alice, without pictures of conversation or conversations? So she was considering in her own mind as well as she could, for the hot day made her feel very sleepy and stupid. Whether the pleasure of making a daisy chain would be worth the trouble of getting up and picking the daisies when suddenly a white rabbit with pink eyes ran close by her. There was nothing so very remarkable in that, nor did Alice think it was so very much that out of the way to hear the rabbit say to itself, oh dear, I shall be too late." When she thought it over afterwards, it occurred to her that she ought to have wondered at this, but at the time it all seemed quite normal, or quite natural. But when the rabbit actually took a watch out of his waistcoat pocket and looked at it and then hurried on, Alice started to her feet, for it flashed across her mind that she had never before seen a rabbit with either a waistcoat pocket or a watch to take out of it, and burning with curiosity she ran across the field after it, and was just in time to see it pop down a large rabbit hole under the hedge. In another moment down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again. The rabbit hole went straight on like a tunnel for some ways, and then dipped suddenly down, so suddenly that Alice had not a moment to think about stopping herself before she found herself falling down what seemed to be a very deep well. Either the well was very deep, or she fell very slowly, for she had plenty of time as she went down to look about her, and to wonder what was going to happen next. First she tried to look down and make out what she was coming to, but it was too dark to see anything. Then she looked at the sides of the well, and noticed that they were filled with cupboards and bookshelves. Here and there she saw maps and pictures hung upon pegs. She took down a jar from one of the shelves as she passed. It was labeled Orange Marmalade, but to her great disappointment it was empty. She did not like to drop the jar for fear of killing somebody underneath, or so to manage to put it into one of the cupboards as she fell past. Well, thought Alice, after such a fall as this I shall think nothing of tumbling downstairs. How brave they'll all think me at home. Why, I wouldn't say anything about it, even if I fell off the top of the house, which was very likely true. Down, down, down. Would the fall never come to an end? I wonder how many miles I've fallen by this time, she said aloud. I must be getting somewhere near the center of the earth. Let me see. That would be 4,000 miles down, I think. For you see, Alice had learnt several things of this sort in her lessons in the schoolroom, and though this was not a very good opportunity for showing off her knowledge, as there was no one to listen to her, but it was good practice to say it over. Yes, that's about right, about the right distance, but then I wonder what latitude or longitude I've got to. Alice had not the slightest idea what latitude or longitude either, but she thought they were very grand words to say. Presently she began again. I wonder if I shall fall right through the earth. How funny it'd seem to come out among the people that walk with their heads downwards. She was rather glad there was no one listening this time, and it didn't sound at all the right word, but I shall have to ask them what the name of the country is, you know. Please, ma'am, is this New Zealand or Australia? And she tried to curtsy as she spoke. Fancy curtsying as you're falling through the air. Do you think you could manage it? And what an ignorant little girl she'll think me for asking. No, it'll never do to ask. Perhaps I shall see it written up somewhere. Down, down, down. There was nothing else to do, so Alice soon began talking again. Dinah, Dinah will miss me very much tonight, I should think. Dinah was the cat. I hope they remembered her saucer of milk at tea time. Dinah, my dear, I wish you were down here with me. There are no mice in the air, I'm afraid, but you might catch a bat, and that's very like a mouse, you know. But do cats eat bats, I wonder? And here Alice began to get rather sleepy, and went on saying to herself in a dreamy sort of way, do cats eat bats? Do cats eat bats? And sometimes do bats eat cats? For you see, as she couldn't answer either question, it didn't much matter which way she put it. She felt that she was dozing off and had just begun to dream, that she was walking hand in hand with Dinah, and she was saying to her very earnestly, now, Dinah, tell me the truth. Did you ever eat a bat? When suddenly, thump, thump, down she came upon a heap of sticks and dry leaves, and the fall was over. What do you think so far? I love this story. I've always have. Since I was young, I'd always have my dad read this to me. But, maybe that's good for now. But I really like this book. I could read more to you if you like some other time. Because we should get lunch, I think. But yeah, that's just a little beginning part of that. Alright, what do you want for lunch? We could do sandwiches or, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay, let's go do that.